What's up, y'all? Thanks so much for joining. Do you guys ever use a planner? Do you buy a planner at the beginning of the year and then you only fill it into January? Isn't that like the case for most of us? Well, I want to share with you guys some tips and tricks that I have learned that helps me use my planner from January all the way to December. So let me help you get more buck for how you're spending your money when you buy planners. Let's stop wasting them. It's 2018. Let's get this year moving. I know I'm excited for the year because I have a lot of great things planned. So let me help you plan your year accordingly without treating the planner like it's a chore or an obligation or anything like that. Don't you want to use the rest of your planner for the year? So I'm going to tell you 5 ways that you can actually use your planner and get the most out of it, and why it's a good reason to use your planner, whether it's digital or it's paper. Planners don't have to be these obligations that feel like, okay, now I gotta write again in my journal. So let's just first talk about, why do we even get planners? Okay, so we get planners for multiple different reasons, whether it's to organize our life or just to sound fancy to our friends. You know, when people say like, oh, let me check my planner. Believe me, I'm one of those people because I love sounding fancy for absolutely no reason. But we also get planners just to better organize our time management. And if you were like me before, where everything was just scattered and you didn't know what was the next day going to be like, then I suggest you get a planner. Planners are great for day-to-day life, week to week, month to month. It really doesn't matter, but I recommend getting a planner just so that way your goals can have deadlines and you can accomplish small goals throughout the week for yourself. Again, whether that's digital or paper, the first tip I actually want to give you guys is, don't include everything in your planner. I know it sounds so crazy. Like, you're like, okay, but I got to put everything in this planner. Think about what you do the last time you got a planner. You included everything on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and it looks good on paper to have a full planner, to be fully organized. You're like, okay, on Wednesday, I'm going to go ahead and clean the house. On Thursday, I'm going to work out even more intensely. On Friday, I'm going to do laundry. You know, it looks so good on paper. Like, even putting that you're going to eat breakfast, brush your teeth. You know, you start to fill in like the little gaps in there because you feel like you're not being productive. It's okay. You already know what you have to do for the day. You know you have to wake up, brush your teeth, take a shower, and get dressed. You don't need to include that in the planner. The planner is there to help you for things that are, maybe you just have a tough time remembering, or maybe you just want to get better at organization skills. For myself, I have clean the whole house on Thursday. I make it a whole day where I'm cleaning the whole house. I'm like scrubbing from top to bottom. But that is like my dedicated day. But I still do dishes, I still vacuum throughout the week. That doesn't mean it needs to go included in the planner. I just know that my Thursdays are dedicated to cleaning up the entire house, or just adding value into that planner. And that can be anything, getting brunch with some ladies, go attending a book club, you know, different things that make your life special on day to day. And once you accomplish that day, check mark it up, you know, treat yourself. That's awesome. Tip 2 is actually set aside time for yourself to actually plan your week or plan your daily routines. Now, I know this sounds crazy and it sounds like a chore, but it's absolutely not. Take 15 minutes out of a day. That could be Sunday, that could be Monday, it can be Tuesday, whatever day you feel that you just have a little bit of downtime on. You can be doing it while you're watching Black Mirror. I know, right? Like, you can plan out your entire week just by taking just 15 minutes and just dedicating that time. Even if you set a reminder in your phone just to have an alarm where it's like, okay, I need to update my weekly activities so that way I can stay progressing in this planner. The more and more you start to do it, the craziest thing happen. a habit starts to form because now you're dedicated to actually filling in this book and completing those tasks. Not crazy tasks, remember, but just your important tasks for yourself. Because remember that we are all human, and as we get older we start to forget things. So writing it down, or remember digitally, you putting it into your phone, it's going to help you start remembering things. Setting an alarm for 15 minutes just to take time aside for yourself, just to breathe and to really just write down your thoughts on what you need to do, it doesn't take no thing. Now, we know that before I go to sleep, I need to write in my planner. Yes, there are days that I put the planner aside, but when I wake up in the morning, I do actually do it because it's something nagging in my head. That habit, I just broke it. It's almost like if you forget to brush your teeth in the day, what happens? That's all you think about is brushing your teeth in the day because you're like, oh my God, I cannot believe I forgot this one habit that I do every single day. I forgot about it. I'm not saying I forget to brush my teeth, but I know there have been people who have forgotten to brush their teeth. Perfectly fine. So treat your set aside time just like a habit. Now, tip number 3 is more of advice, because the great thing about having a planner is that you can easily communicate with other people, friends and families, co-workers, to say what you're going to be doing because your planner has it all written out for you. Have you ever overpromised that you can do something and then later find out that you actually overbook that day? Let's say somebody invites you to their wedding, sorry, not your wedding. I hope you don't overbook on your wedding. But let's say you are invited to a wedding and somebody says, okay, it's 3 months later. Well, if you put it down on a planner, then every time you go to that week, you'll know that on this day you have a wedding. But let's say you're just trying to do it by memory, and the bride and groom, they're not the best at sending out save the dates or invitations. You just know because it's word to mouth. Okay, so that sounds like a nightmare, but let's just go with it. So, with that, now you have a date that you have to remember that's not written down, that's not saved anywhere, not even in your calendar. So, what happens? Now the week is coming up. There's no reminders to let you know about that. And let's say another friend that's not even going to the wedding says, hey, do you want to go out of town? Sure, let's go out of town. What then happens? You're out of town on a wedding that you promised to be at, and then that just causes chaos in your life. So why cause so much chaos in your life when you can literally just have it written down or digitally put into your phone to make sure that you can attend all the things that you promise? It's always bad to overpromise and underdeliver. So let's just keep the promises that we make in 2018 and let's move forward. So now tip number 4 kind of touches on tip number 1, where it's set realistic tasks. Now, when you're setting realistic tasks, you're not setting yourself up for failure, okay? You definitely don't want to put on Wednesday, I'm going to learn how to scuba dive, and you're nowhere near a scuba diving class, because what happens is you cross it off your list because you can't accomplish it. And then that leaves that feeling in your heart and your gut like, wow, I didn't get this accomplished, so I must be a failure. Or let's say something less extreme. Let's say I'm going to write a book. And let's say, okay, I'm going to write a book by Wednesday and it's already Tuesday. Are you really going to write a book by Wednesday and it's already Tuesday? Don't set yourself up for that failure. Remember, this is your planner, so you can set these realistic tasks and goals for yourself. No one can judge you because it's your planner. You don't have to impress anybody when it's your planner. You're literally just impressing yourself. But when you set these unrealistic tasks, you're just setting yourself up for failure. And then you're just letting yourself down, which then you then start to probably think, well, maybe why do I am using this planner if I'm not even doing the task on it? Which then causes you to stop using the planner. So don't overhype a task when you know you can't get to it. Be real with yourself. Why are you lying to yourself? You know you better than anyone. So keep to yourself. Okay, now step 5, it's a great, great, great way to keep to your planner. And all it is accomplishing your tasks, accomplishing the tasks that you set for yourself. So when you write it down and you say it out loud, you increase your chances of productivity and memory gain, because all you're doing is you're just doing the things that are habit to you, but you're writing it down, that are important to you, but you're writing it down. So don't forget that when you're in step 5, you're accomplishing the goals. Just take it day by day, week by week. The great thing is that you can go at your own pace. There may be a week where there's nothing that you need to do, and that's fine. You can create even just a little thing for yourself, like, okay, today I'm going to go to Starbucks. That may not be a normal thing for you. So just create something for that, because what that does is it creates that habit. Like I was saying before, it creates that habit to continue to write in that planner, to continue to increase your productivity with that planner. Now, so since I've given you all the tips and tricks that help me use my planner for the full year, I hope you're going to have a great and productive year of 2018. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video and share it with anybody else that you know that says they have a planner. Either they're being fancy or they really want to use it. So I hope this really helped you. If it did help you, if you have other tips and tricks about how to use a planner and not waste your planner, please leave it in the comments below. So remember, rule 1